everyone, this is Emily. You're probably wondering why I'm filming on a Thursday when my normal day for this channel is Sunday. You're probably also wondering why I changed the name of the YouTube channel and the corresponding Facebook group from 7 Peaceful People to the Peaceful People Project. This has been in response to feedback from you guys. One of the major things we learned at Peace Camp was meeting people where they are, responding to their needs, and really paying attention to what they can offer at any given time. Another thing we learned was that it's very important to apologize to people when you didn't get something quite right. That's what I'm doing right now. Friends from Peace Camp, friends from Bishops, friends from Western, friends from Camp Kitchikawana, friends from pretty much everywhere I've been in my whole life who I've attempted to recruit under this project under the previous model. I'm sorry. I should have listened to you when you told me that the 7 model wouldn't work. I should have listened to you when you said that weekly themes can be contrived. I should have listened to you when you said that you didn't have time to make a video every week. You know, on its face, these movies only last a few minutes, but a lot more goes into them. There's uploading time and editing and special effects, if you can do that. Amy can, I haven't figured it out yet. And I know, on its face there are 168 hours in a week, but a lot of that time gets filled up with other things like work, school, family, friends, food, sleep, personal hygiene, hopefully exercise. So, I didn't intend this channel ever to become 7 starving, stressed out, stinky people. That was not my vision. And I feel like with the original 7 Peaceful People project, it might have become like that. Also, the Peaceful People project is more freeform and more inclusive because we don't have to have just 7 people. We don't even have to have 7 people. Right now, it's me and Amy. And for our purposes, we're operating at full capacity. We could have 50 people join up tomorrow, and we would be operating at full capacity. 7 is limiting. If only 7 people can participate at a time, then there might be someone else who has something brilliant to say, but has to wait until one of the original 7 people drop out. And by the time that happens, the thing they had to say might not be relevant anymore. So I'm going to let this channel grow and change and happen in response to whatever you guys need, whatever the viewers want to see. This lesson reminds me a lot of the Do Re Mi episode of the Brady Bunch. Most people have probably seen it. In this episode, the Brady kids are recording a song, and then Peter's voice starts to change. And the rest of the kids really wrestle with whether or not they should let Peter participate. In the end, Greg solves the problem by writing a song called Time to Change, which accommodates the issue and actually works around Peter's voice changing. Actually, his, squawky adolescent croaking is featured as part of the song. It's really cool. They do an awesome job recording it. Now, what most people don't know is this wasn't just on television. The character who played Peter Brady was actually going through puberty, and then the producers decided to make that episode around it. That is a true act of peacemaking, both on television and in real life. It's something I think we should strive to emulate. Now, a lot of you are probably going to ask me if I'm going to take down the evidence of 7 Peaceful People, my call-out video, Amy's response video. The answer to that is no, and I'm going to tell you why. Johannes Brahms began composing as an adult in the late 19th century, kind of biting into the 20th. He burned everything he wrote that wasn't perfect. Now, he's known for a lot of beautiful music. Everyone knows him for Brahms' Lullaby, but he's written a lot of better stuff. But we don't have any story, any indication of how he got there. By contrast, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, who was active at the end of the 18th century, began playing the violin when he was 4 and playing the piano and composing when he was 7. He didn't have the same inhibitions that Brahms had. So he kept everything. He kept everything he wrote. Childhood scribblings, early attempts. So musicologists have a record of his learning process, warts and all. I think that's really cool. So I'm going to take the same approach to this that Mozart did. That would, of course, be Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. There's another Mozart, and I'm going to talk about her closer to International Women's Day. But I'm going to take the same approach that Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart did and keep a record of this learning process so that other people can learn from my mistake. When you redact something, you black it out so that the other person can't see it. I mentioned this in my spoken word poem that I wrote for the Voice of Women for Peace video contest. I said, at one point, speak your truth and never redact it. Redacting is a tool. There are good ways to use it and there are bad ways to use it. You might have to redact something in a written message like a name or a piece of contact information that's meant to be kept private. That's okay because you're protecting someone else's privacy. If you redact relevant information about a mistake you made, or something that could work against you, to cover your own ass, that's bad. I feel like if I took down my previous video, that would be what I would be doing. And I can't bring myself to remove the beautiful video created by my good friend and colleague, Amy Hutton. The first time I watched that, Amy, I seriously almost cried. So, how do we learn from this? How do we fix this? I'm going to quote Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. He said one day when he was having problems with his girl who's a friend, Amy Farrah Fowler, that they should treat their relationship like a crashed computer and restore it to the last point where they both agree that it worked. I think this is a very fitting metaphor because I'm talking to you on my computer right now. So, I am willing to do that if you are. If you're willing to give me a second chance, I'm willing to treat this experience like a crashed computer and restore it to the last point where we both agree that it worked. I think that point would be before I started to be demanding. Before I started to try to slot people into specific days when they told me they maybe wanted to just film once or film sporadically. I'm sorry about that. With this new model, I'll still be on Sundays. Amy will still be on Tuesdays, just to keep some rhythm to the channel. Everyone else, chime in whenever you want. If you want to be a regular, that's cool, but it's not the rule. I want this new channel to be about everyone. I feel very grateful to have had this learning opportunity. And more than that, I feel grateful that my friends who I maybe didn't act very peaceful with haven't dropped out. So, Amy, Rachel, all my friends from Peace Camp, everyone, thank you for being able to work with me on this. Thank you for being compassionate. Thank you for giving me a second chance when maybe I didn't really deserve it. That's all I have to say about this. I will be back on Sunday when I will probably touch on Syria, hopefully before Obama does. Signing off, this was Emily.